doing a podcast with this thing on my head.
How long you been growing that out for?
Cruz is 3 in December, so right around 3 years.
Yeah.
You started growing it out when he was born?
Yeah.
What was there any particular reason?
I just always
To
wanted
look cool.
Hey, I could. I've always wanted to have longer hair. I had it when I was younger. My dad had longer hair. I didn't like it. I like too much like the old man, right? And then just started growing it out. Like it was really like uncomfortable for a while.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable again because how long it is. But I don't know, something about having Cruz and I don't know. Yeah. Now it's like attach that to how old he is and then growing it out. And he'll tell me, I like your eyes. I like your hair. I like your face. So like, I don't want to cut my hair now. Yeah. So I've gotten it trimmed, I think once. Yeah. About like the dead ends or something like that.
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits you well. I don't even think I realized at first until it was like, I think almost at your shoulders. And you like, I think maybe it was like the first time I saw you wear it like down. And I was like, oh shit, his hair's getting long.
Yeah. And it grows like really long. Apparently this is like, the growth is pretty exponential. So I get asked all the time what my hair,
like regimen.
Yeah. And I feel so bad when it's ladies, they ask me that. And I'm like, it would be bar soap if it wasn't for my wife.
Yeah.
And so at least it's not bar soap now.
Do you have a regimen then?
No, I just shampoo and conditioner, whatever she has in the, I use. And, outside of that, if I put oil on it before when it was shorter, it kind of sometimes needed it to lay. But if I do it now, it's so much, it's so heavy, it gets greasy. But it's funny. I do understand when girls are like, or women in general, I'm sure some guys say it, but like, they're like, oh, I have to wash my hair tonight. Or like, I don't want to take a shower because I have to wash my hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I get it. I don't want to go to bed with my hair wet. Like,
Yeah. How long does it take to dry?
So I washed it last. I don't blow dry it. I just let it air dry. And so it just depends on like if I'm in bed, the next morning it'll be dry. But if I'm moving around, within a couple of hours it's fine. But I just
couple of hours is still a lot though.
Yeah. Usually I just like pull it back and let it dry out, and that's it. Yeah. So
I blow dry my hair. It takes about 37 seconds for it to dry.
I took a shower. Literally the last thing I did before I went to bed, and I went to bed, and it was like only mildly damp when I like laid down.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, no, not anymore.
I get a good like rub with the towel though. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever tried no poo shampoo?
No poo?
Yeah.
No shampoo.
Like
no shampoo, like even just like one day or 2 days.
Oh, I'll go days without washing my hair.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll go a few days.
Do you ever?
A few days.
Yeah. Do you ever? This is a common topic on the podcast.
This is very much
No shit, really.
This is a big time topic on the podcast.
Have you ever done like where you just rinse it and no shampoo and see how it does?
My hair?
Yeah.
I think as of lately, so probably not as of lately because I won't wash my hair every time I take a shower. Just because it's like I don't need to.
Sure.
Like it's fine. I don't need to. Or like my wife will or Jess will braid my hair the next day. Do a French braid, right? Get it out the way, pull it back for a couple of days.
You got some yard work you got to do
100% this weekend, right? And so it was French braided this weekend. So it's been a while since I have. I kind of prefer that and just no, chemicals, no nothing. But it's been, when I was didn't have long hair, 1,000%. I had bar soap, and if I would happen to remember to bar soap, cool.
Yeah.
Move on.
I think you'll be a fan of this, but could you guess how often Thomas or I shampoo our hair?
I'd probably say once a month.
That's a pretty good guess. Yeah. That's a better guess than most people, I think.
When was the last time you washed your hair, Kevin?
I think it's been like 6 years since I put shampoo in my hair.
I'm 6 or 7. We're right around the same, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now just rinse my hair.
So when I didn't have that same thing, I mean, I would do like bar soap, maybe other than that. Yeah. I mean, cause I have it in washing my face. Oh yeah. Might as well just. Yeah.
Like if I have like a fresh haircut where my sides are real short, like I'm not washing my face, I'll like hit the sides, but like anything, like I haven't, dude, this is like, what's funny. It was when we lived together, which was a long time ago. So it might actually be longer. I don't know.
I think it's, cause we started going to Max after you got here. So it might be like 8 or 9 years.
Max and Yukon or Edmund.
Yeah, Radcliffe with Annex.
Yeah, I've been to him once.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's who we go to. We took Max's small recommendation to the extreme. But what he kind of said was like, you really like as a guy, like overwashing, it's a real problem. And so like just wash it whenever it gets greasy. And so we just kind of like slowly weaned off to where like my hair just like, if I rinse my hair, it just doesn't get greasy like ever. And so we were living together. So that is at least... How long have you owned your house? 5 years?
I don't think quite that long. I think 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
4 years that you've owned a house? Yeah, that would make sense because it would be Laurel and I got together when we were living together. I had a bottle of shampoo expire.
Oh my gosh.
While we were there.
Didn't even know they had expiration dates.
I didn't either.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's how long it's been.
But the whole idea behind it, is that shampoo, where it cleans it, it strips the natural oils and your hair, and that can obviously lead to more unhealthy hair, especially for like guys that are washing and shampooing their hair like multiple times a day, or even just every day. Yeah. So we started, because that's what I used to do. I used to shampoo my hair every time I showered, which was once or twice a day. So I was so used to that. And I think my hair was fine, but I just started doing like every other time I shower, I'll shampoo it. And then every other time I was rinsing it. And then that turned into like, okay, once a week, okay, once a month. And then it was just like, why do I went to like shampoo my hair at one point. I'm like, I don't even feel like I need to. So,
and what are you doing? Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because I mean, it just works like anything else in your body. And you'll understand this. Like when you strip all of its natural oils, it over responds and it just like pumps out to. That's why hair gets greasy like that. And so it's one of those where it's just like, oh well, like you strip your natural oils every single day, because people are like, we didn't just like quit cold turkey, it's like he said, it was like every other time. And then it was like, okay, I'd wait for it to get greasy, it'd be a few days, okay cool, shampoo it. And then it was like, then it got to when it's like, I get a haircut every 2 weeks, and it's like I'd shampoo it after my haircut. And then it was just like, I just kind of like let it keep going, and it's just like, as long as I like again, I shower every day, at least once, most times twice with jujitsu and stuff. So it's like, I'm rinsing my hair out and scrubbing my head and scalp and everything. Like I have shampoo. It's just water.
Let the water do the work.
Yeah. And it's like, it's clean, and my hair feels like healthier than it's ever been. Like styles better, everything.
Yeah. One of the like main reasons that I will wash it is that when she does the French braid, she puts gel and like spray stuff in it so it holds real well.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I want to get that out, but I prefer like there's nothing in it right now. Yeah. So when we don't do that, and I'm not doing yard work, just let some water take care of it. Yeah.
That's I've been able to do it. It kind of depends on the product. But like, as long as I'm using like some kind of product in my hair that I know can rinse out, I can usually just get that out with rinse, and it doesn't feel like there's anything in it afterwards.
I'm pomade and hairspray every day.
Yeah, I'm just pomade. Yep. So, but yeah, I'd be curious with your longer hair, if you went even like longer stretches of time with just rinsing, but with no shampoo, what it would look like.
You
might be too sexy if you did that. So don't try it.
The volume is this weight. I can barely fit through the door. You know what I mean?
I do wonder, like, I think because we do also like having our hair short, like it's not, I'm sure that gets warm, the mane.
It does.
So that would probably be like an added layer to it of like how much I would be like constantly warm.
Yeah. If anybody listening is not watching the video right now, you should really go click to the video and look how long Shaun's hair is right now. So.
We better be having good hair days today, or otherwise we're like selling no food. Crap.
I don't know if I was having my best hair day.
I did deliveries today. Okay, everybody, I've been running
around. Well, we should probably do at least a quick introduction, a reintroduction, because Shaun Vasquez, welcome back to the Unsuccessful Entrepreneur Podcast. If you guys hadn't seen the first episode with Shaun, there's been a couple of years, I think.
Short hair.
Yeah, you had short hair. Yeah. I had no kids, I think, at that time. So
I didn't have a dog.
You didn't have a dog? Congrats on your dog, by the way.
Yeah. We also didn't have a dog on the last podcast we did. So this is a new development.
But yeah, we're excited to have you back. The last episode was, man, that was legitimately one of my favorites. Man, I think we got into some really deep conversations and got to talk about upbringing a lot, and now getting to sit here with very sleep deprived, but 2 kids myself. I think I've gotten to listen to you over the years, and a lot of what you've always talked about and what you've said, especially on the last podcast, really starts to hit home a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to look that up on what episode that was.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
And we are celebrating the launch of Pride Stacks.
Yep.
So by the time that this episode airs, they'll be available, and I'm sure like a number of different retailers, obviously available at Triad, will also be available online. You and your family were nice enough to prep some samples of mini muffins. So for Pride Stacks, if you don't know, is a baking mix with organic white rice flour and organic sweet potato. It clicked for me the other day. I think it was when I was getting ready for the day, and I was like putting my meals in my bag, and which is a lot of like turkey or chicken and rice and, you know, the normal like prepped meals. And I'm sitting there thinking about Pride Stacks because we were prepping some videos and some promotions for it. And I'm like, well, dude, this is like made out of like food prep, like things that would be in a meal prep. And I'm like, why am I not eating pancakes? I can be doing that instead of eating this like stuff that I'm just throwing in my my traditional meal preps. You can make pancakes, you can make waffles. You've been experimenting a ton. I've been seeing a bunch of people post about all different kinds of things. So, but you put some mini muffins together to be able to try for all our customers to try. So we got samples at all the stores. So.
Really appreciate that, by the way. That's super cool. Super cool thing to do.
Well, it was one, I wanted to do it. Obviously it helped get some people into the door, but also,
they smell good.
I wanted
the smell. When I was delivering them to Yukon earlier, the smell was good.
Your house smell amazing.
When you're making them, it's mad. It's madness. But I wanted to also get the experience of doing it so that when we have for Sample Triad, that's how, because I was like, man, get a flat or a hot plate out there and make pancakes. I'm like, that's just not very functional. Plus it's a liability. And I'm like, how can I do this and smart? And I'm like, I made them at the house and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, just prep them ahead of time. Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. These are good.
The chocolate one.
Is this just the stacks or is this?
That's it.
Nice. It's just that with water, right?
Just that with water.
Is it possible to add to even take it to like the next level with like milk or eggs or anything like that?
You can. I mean, so like anytime you add, it depends on what that is designed for, right? So like with the eggs, it helps it stick to better. I believe it's to help it stick together better. So different things kind of act differently. So you certainly can maybe give it a little more volume, a little more density. But what I've been experimenting with is different proteins. Yeah. And dude, it's easy alone. It's even easier with protein.
Oh yeah. It's
crazy good. Like pancakes, muffins, you name it. It's for that. I don't even measure the water because I've been doing it so much. Right. I eyeball it and I kind of know like there's some that we made that are a little more squishy, a little heavier, more water. It's a little bit more runny. The ones that are more airy and my preferred texture are the ones where the batter you almost have to scoop out because it won't. You can turn it upside down and just move really slow. Right. But so you just mix it up, let it sit 3 to 5 minutes. Put it in, spray your pan because I made the mistake of not doing that. Spray the pan and literally 5, 6, 7 minutes, put your little toothpick in, done. They pop right out, ready to go. Like phenomenal.
Yeah. The little ones like that, I bet are quick.
Oh dude, so quick. Kids love them. Grab and go. And if you want to make it a full like meal, like add your isolate, add your beef protein, egg white, whatever you want to add. It has MCT, so it has good fat.
Right.
You're good to go.
That's awesome too. Like I think that becomes like one of the things where and something I appreciate so much about just Pride Foods in general and all the products that you make is like, I feel like you're making something that's tasty and good, but also making like healthy, super attainable and super accessible, where going through and making like, hey, let's make healthy muffins that taste good. It's like, okay, I got to get my flaxseed, you know, what all the different things that kind of come in where it's like, you can have this just like one stop, like, hey, man, you just mix this with some water, throw it on the thing and you're ready to go, you know? And
I think the problem that a lot of companies maybe haven't, like the big companies, is I could be wrong, but it seems that they're looking at price point. What is this going to be on the shelf? Like the customer's not going to, but we've proven that with cream of rice, with rice and grounds, right? Well, one, it's more servings, but it's the highest quality that you can get. And so that stuff costs more. Our 7 years of evidence saying that customers, they want that, they will pay for that. They require that now, right? And so the same thing with the stacks. People that haven't wanted to do that perhaps because the cost of the ingredients, right? Especially if you're not pixie dusting this or that, like it's you know, really high quality, good ingredients at a good dose. And so I don't know, maybe not, but obviously I know that they're not inexpensive ingredients, right? Sure. They cost more. But it is surprising when I started to look at it. I'm like, you know, we created the flavored cream of rice category, right? And we didn't create the pancake category, but there are no other pancakes with that macro breakdown, with the ingredient breakdown, and add in the flavors on top of that. Oh yeah, they're just not doing it.
So no, absolutely. That
I think that's how I've always viewed Pride Foods, and I think the Pride Stacks really fits within this category as well. And for those that don't know, Shaun owns Pride Foods. They make rice and grinds. I would say is probably your flagship product, the one that I know most Triad customers are familiar with.
Yep. Oh yeah,
but it's. Pride Foods is just like any category with like, if like food is just like cars. It's like, you're not making the Honda of food, right? You're making the Ferrari.
Right.
So use that analogy many times.
Right. Yeah.
Many times.
And it comes down to the ingredients. The fact that, again, you're using like organic rice and organic sweet potato. Right. You're not just throwing in cheap ingredients and like, you know, semi-healthier. You're going all out with what you're putting in it. Oh. And there are people that want the best of the best.
For sure. So, well, and just knowing you and how obviously health conscious you are, not just for you, but for your family. Like these are those kind of things that it's like, man, you grab a bag of rice and grinds or Pride Stacks or whatever. And you're like, I know, like, I'm going to, man, make this for your kids. Like what, you know, you're going to, cause this is what we know, you're feeding your kids, right? And you're feeding yourself. And it's like, you aren't willing to take those shortcuts in your life. So why not provide a product for the other people who aren't willing to take those shortcuts?
Yep.
Yeah. They're good, dude.
Thank you.
I'm thinking of that right now. A little maple syrup on it.
Dude, I am really curious with these with pancakes. Yeah. So
those are good by themselves.
Alyssa was saying that. I think that's a really good analogy. It's like, it's something you give to your kids. Is like, yeah, it's not like you know, sports specific or sports nutrition specific of like, I want to, you know, for people that, you know, their main goal is I want to, you know, lift as much as I can or run as fast as I can, and I'm willing to, you know, take some health shortcuts to get there. It's like, no, this is just purely the most healthy options available. And it's what you're comfortable giving to your kids. I'm way more comfortable giving Pride Foods than most, pretty much anything else to Riley, which is why Alyssa was talking about, like, we need to get a bag so we can make some for Riley kind of deal. Yeah. And Riley did try both flavors earlier and approved of both of them.
That's the best I'm talking about.
She is very picky too. So she's got a weird palate. She doesn't like eggs, or ground turkey, or she doesn't like beef. She does like dog food though, dry dog food. So
who doesn't? Right?
Honestly, high in protein.
She's got a funny palate though. She just got some Halloween candy and she's been real big on that recently. So she's coming off of getting a big bucket of Halloween candy and sneaking some throughout the day.
You're going toe to toe with a Reese's.
Right. Yeah. That's so we got some this weekend. So her palate is not as sensitive as it usually is. So coming in, you got approval with that palate.
I love it. So. I love it. That's the best approval. That's the one that I hold that's my standard, right? It's for the kids. It's always Pat from maybe sent a video or he posted one, and same thing. The family was eating it, so those are the best, dude.
Nice.
what was I going to say? Oh, so I made the blueberry isolate from Define with brown sugar cinnamon stacks. Now we do have a blueberry in queue. I haven't placed the order for it yet, but I was gonna order it on the top 4, but the stacks are gonna go to the Middle East right away, and they don't care so much for blueberry, so I swapped it out for maple because they prefer that. Yeah. So we'll be releasing blueberry at a later date, but I'm kind of glad I did because it's one of the best flavors. But that blueberry with y'all's blueberry will be, and it adds some like blueberries in it, which is what I did with the brown sugar. And I'm actually pancake or waffle. I'm a pancake guy,
Same.
but like. My kids love pancakes. I when I was competing, I used them in prep and in off season. I'm just not the biggest like sweet guy all the time. And I was like, the other day, I was like, well, I want to make something like pre-workout. It's going to sit well, go down. So I made this, threw the blueberries in it, made the pancakes, got some Lancanto. It's a sugar-free syrup. Threw it on there. And I was like, dang. Like I was like, all right. Like I was pretty impressed, right? And obviously I've had them before, but most of the time when I eat pancakes, which is not very often, I make French toast for the kids, waffles, pancakes. Because there was some that I'll even get from like birch benders. My knuckles get a little swollen. I have kind of a reaction to it. Like my face feels a little bit flushed. Like it's too much for me. And I had these again, because I've obviously had them before, but I had 2 scoops of each and like stomach was great. Yeah. Face didn't feel weird. Energy was great in the gym. Like just felt phenomenal like that. So outside of like quality ingredients, tasting great, like one of the biggest pillars, like if we have 3 pillars, for example, is digestibility, like how people are going to feel. One of our friends down in Dallas, his wife has been waiting for these to launch. She has celiacs. And
is that Baker's wife?
Yeah. And so I was like, I messaged him. I'm like, hey, she try him? He's like, yeah, buttermilk. I said, all right. Most importantly, how's her stomach? And he's like, dude, perfect. No issues at all. She's like really, really sensitive. And like, that's that, dude. Pride started because of my digestive issues, or partly in because of that. And so I know how miserable it can be at times. I know how like just isolated you feel, how frustrated it is. Certain foods, can't have this, can't have that. And so to be able to like meet somebody where they're at. And because of the product and how well it is, like you said, we get to meet everybody where they're at. Right. That's really cool. Probably one of the coolest things. If I stop and slow down, take my jetpack off, slow down and think what we're doing. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm actually feeding families. I'm feeding people all over the world, right? Like an idea in my head, and then the team's collaborative work, we create this product. It's like, oh man, that's really, that's bitching. That's cool, man.
That is. Well, one of the coolest things too, is it's not like, it becomes one of those things where it's like, with something like that, your family's just making pancakes, and it's not like, oh, those are mom's special pancakes you're not going to like. Right. Those aren't the these are the gluten-free, the ones that taste off or whatever. Like the one no one's going to be real excited about. And so that's what's cool. It just becomes like, hey, no, this is, like you said, meet everyone where they're at. Whether you're a kid, whether you're in prep, whether you're, just a regular Joe, just wanting some pancakes, you know what I mean? But in wanting to, make sure that they're getting as healthy stuff as possible. And I feel like with this specific like realm of things that Pride Food exists in, and I think it's such a cool deal, is I think some of the other companies or people within that space that, whether they get popular, I feel like they come into this with like really good intentions of not cutting corners. And then you see that company get sold, and then you get to see it sold again and then sold again. And then you look up and it's owned by Kellogg, or whoever.
Pepsi.
Right. And then you start looking and you're like, oh, well now let's look at the first iteration of these and let's look at the 19th iteration of these now that you can go get them frozen and, ready to go. And you're like, like these, you're starting to see a whole lot more stuff on the back you can't pronounce, right? Because you're getting changed hands, and we see it in the supplement industry all the time. We see big, good, reputable companies get sold, and then as soon as they get sold, it's no longer disclosing protein processing or changing processing or just you just see it all just kind of because they're like the people who now own it are these mega corps that just don't care. You know what I mean? That, like you said, they're trying to make it as cheap as possible. And what's the price point on the shelf? And that's what's so cool is like with something like Pride Foods and what you're doing, like just having the confidence from like a consumer standpoint of like, nah, you know what you're going to get every time. And you're never going to have to worry about that. Like that's such a cool thing for this space, because there's not a lot of, there's not a lot of, I don't know how, like freedom fighters in that space of like staying like, we're going to stand.
I'm going to die on this hill.
Yeah, right. Like that just doesn't happen in that space. And it doesn't happen a ton in the supplement space, unfortunately. And so it's always, I'm always really impressed and love it when I see that kind of stuff, man. It makes me super stoked for you guys and everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's a cautionary tale. I think it's fake. I don't think anybody, like, I think a lot of people aren't sure if it's real or not, but there's this cautionary tale.
Is it a ghost story?
No. It may be a made up story. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a cool story. I heard this recently, that there's a candy company, and this candy company had been around for 50 years. And it had one particular piece of candy that was number one in the market, like top, like most sold out of any other candy in the world, right? And a new executive comes, or a new CEO steps into place, and he's a really like smart person. He really is down to earth. He understands the company, but also is the CEO. So he wants to make sure it's the company is operating, right? Or is operating as efficiently as possible. So he starts running some analytics and looking at data, and he finds that their number one piece of candy has 38 different ingredients in it. And he looks through all the ingredients, and he finds one, and he runs some numbers, and he goes to the board and says, guys, we have the number one piece of candy in the world, and there's 38 ingredients in it. How much money do you guys think we could save if we pulled one of those ingredients? I don't know. And it was millions of dollars. And everybody's, well, that'd be cool, but like, what's the difference on what the taste will be like? Like, will we be able to notice that? And, the new CEO says, well, we'll do a trial run. We'll do taste testing on these. But if we successfully implement this and our sales don't dip, everybody will get a $1 million bonus at the end of the year. Right. So, and everybody's ears perk up, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we could definitely try that. So they do a trial run, they pull one ingredient, and they run it in some focus groups, and they test the two candies side by side. Nobody can tell a difference. So they implement this, and they pull it down. So it's 37 ingredients. They launch it in the market. Sales stay the same. Great. At the end of the year, everybody gets a major bonus. Starting in the next year, hey guys, what if we took it down from 37 down to 36 ingredients? And everybody's like, oh yeah, like we would get bonuses if we did that successfully, right? Yeah, of course. So they do this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And I think the story goes that they maybe get to their, their 10th ingredient that they're pulling. And nobody can taste the difference, from, 28 to 27 ingredients. Nobody can taste the difference. And all of a sudden their sales starts to dip, like plummet. So they're number 2, then number 3, then number 4, as far as like top candies in the market. And they can't figure out what's going on. This, we tested it every step of the way. We don't really know what's going on. Like maybe the market's changed, but other candies are selling, they're doing really well. What did we do? The new CEO goes into his office, and he hasn't personally tried one in a while. And so he opens one up and tries, the newest edition of the candy bar. He's like, man, this really isn't that good. Like, how is this ever number one? And he happened to have an old one sitting there as well. And he opened that up and tried it, totally different. That they couldn't tell the difference from one step of the way. They tested along the way, but they failed to test it amongst the first iteration. Right. So
inches lead to miles kind of thing. It's hard to say inch to inch, but once you get all the way down,
it's the boil of frog, right?
Yeah.
1 degree at a time.
Yeah.
They won't, although that's been disproven, they'll get out, but you get like an analogy.
You boiling frogs on that farm?
There's a lot of them. We had quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
I heard that you guys had to relocate some toads.
Good soil. Yeah. So we had good, we don't do any of the spraying around the house to kill them. I like to hear the noises and insects and everything. And so, and then really good rain this year. And so, a lot of frogs equal good soil. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of toads at our house. We've got, Thomas said with this the other night so Alyssa loves animals, so she's a big fan of all our toads that we have. We have a lot of them this year as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not as many as you had, and no frogs, but that's our nightly routine now too. Thomas helped the other night. Alyssa went to see what's her name from Fleetwood Mac. Can't think of her name right now. She's gonna hate it if she hears this.
She won't.
That's true. But she went to a concert. So I was like, 2 kids, one that is not even a month old. I'm going to need some help. Uncle Mommy came to the rescue.
Nice.
To help put
Call
the kids.
Uncle Mommy.
For those that don't know, Thomas is Uncle Mommy because Riley can't say Tommy.
Yeah. So we confuse a lot of people at the grocery store sometimes. We got Dada, Mama, and Mommy.
Oh boy.
But yeah, our nightly routine, which Thomas got to be a part of, is we put our pajamas on, we drink our milk, we brush our teeth. We got to brush our teeth, and before we go out front and look for toads.
Oh, nice.
Just, Riley loves. You
forgot beating her with a pillow.
Oh yeah, you got to do that too, didn't you? All right, explain that, because if I do, no one's going to believe me.
Yeah. So Riley is a huge fan of before bed. She goes and gets on their big like king size bed and wants you to throw pillows at her, and you'll like hit her with a pillow and she'll like fall, and you're like, oh ha ha. And I'm like, okay, so I like, she's a toddler. I'm like, tap her with a pillow, and it's like, and I'm like, okay, look a little harder. And I just see Kevin Shohei Ohtani like, boom, and she just
Yes,
flies across the bed.
just loving it. And I'm like, all right, Randy Johnson, like, let's go. And so she was just having a blast. We were just throwing pillows, but it's like, one plays like toddler catcher on the other side, like making sure she doesn't fall
off the bed.
Yeah, man.
And then we went toad exploring.
Yeah, toad exploring.
And did she actually grab him, pick him up?
No, she hasn't grabbed any toads yet. She likes to get real close and look at him and say toad, but yeah, hasn't gotten. She picked up a big beetle earlier today though, so
nice.
We've crossed that bridge.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cruz picks up whatever frog he sees. And, and Jess just like, I don't.
You're not a fan of frogs?
No, she's it's not that she's not a fan.
Oh, Kinder.
No, Jess.
Okay.
Jess, when he grabs them, she's just like, no, it's gross, right? Whatever. Especially the slimy ones. He'll catch the actual frog. He'll catch toads, but he'll catch the frogs.
Those are hard to catch.
He'll catch them, and there's the legs hanging out in front of him. He's like, I got a frog. He wants to rehome it to the grass. I
feel like that was a really good Cruz impression.
Yeah, I got some practice.
It's funny you bring that up about the candy company. We were driving just the other day. We were driving up to Wichita, Kansas, and Laurel and I were talking back and forth, and she was explaining how there's some makeup company that apparently makes so I don't know, some foundation or something. We're gonna call it that. I don't know if that was it, right? But they make some like great foundation that like everybody loves and everyone uses, and it's like the foundation for people of like doing their makeup, right? Like everybody uses this. And I guess there's some ingredient in there that like some companies are starting to like not use. And I don't think it's like a health issue. I think it's just whatever. They're just not using it. And so this company that makes the number one, everyone loves this thing, decided to pull that thing out, and everyone's like, cool, you ruined it. Like you literally made this awful. Like you took the thing that like you had this product that was like ultra successful, and it's like, and I think that's like an interesting thing, because within transition, this isn't like business talk. I think like there's times that change is appropriate, and then I think that there's also just like people, we can get like antsy or like want to meddle with things that don't need meddling with.
Predict the trends. But yeah, dude, that's such a balance though, man. Because like if you don't change anything, you can slowly die.
Yeah, it's just get
outdated.
It's tough when you're the number one and have been for a long time. It's like, man, like I don't know how to change that product.
If you're currently number one, I would think you should launch a different product to test the market.
Well, and that was the thing was like, that's what Laura was saying. She was like, why didn't they just make one without it, but still have but it was like, it completely replaced it. And I think it was like one of those things where like, I think social media has bullied them into like retracting back to what they were making, which like probably good for them as a business of like, hey, like at least people are this up in arms that like, we'll go back. We're sorry. Like,
dude, I love the fact that I don't know. I think it can be a bad thing sometimes, but I think ultimately a good thing, but social pressure.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with the amount of social media that's out there and how fast everybody connects and like can like learn about certain things that are going on. I personally think it's a good thing because I feel like it takes away the need to have to enact so many, not necessarily laws, but just generally red tape. Like there's like social pressure to do certain things, like there's a backlash if you do something wrong.
Well, it's like it's sometimes crazy too because there's like the unpredictability of the market as well. And I've heard this story. I don't know if it's a real story either. I think it is though, where it was like for a while, Coca-Cola had Diet Coke that didn't have gray caps or like the silver caps. You know what I mean? So Diet Coke has their like gray and red theme, and it has like regular Coke has red caps, Coke Zero has black caps, and Diet Coke has gray caps. And I think they switched the cap color or something at one point and did nothing to the drink but changed the cap color. And everyone was like, you changed it. You changed the Coke, like the Diet Coke. Like they thought it tasted different to the point where it was like their sales like dramatically dropped from just changing the color of the cap because people were like, you changed my favorite drink.
Yeah.
It's different. It tastes different. I don't care what you say that you only changed the cap color. It tastes different now. I don't like it anymore. And you're like,
altering the experience for the consumer. Yeah. We're like with the middle of the rebrand. So Stacks is leading the charge on the brand's rebrand, and the bags are getting an upgrade from the thickness of the bags, the zipper of the bags, and then the overall design and look of the bags.
The stacks look awesome.
Thank you. And that's been like, I've gotten like messages and videos from friends that like, dude, like the design is amazing, which like I use ChatGPT to create, the images, man. Like to create the actual legitimate images. I took a picture of the stack samples that we made because we were trying to do a photo shoot with the guy. He's a great guy. He does really good work. This is, I think, maybe one of his first time doing like food photography, and it just didn't look good. It was something maybe social media, maybe, but definitely not like a hero, like brand, like a bag image, right?
Right.
That's gonna be there forever, right?
Yeah, you have to be. We're extra particular about anything that's going on a label and going to be printed thousands of times.
Right. So I went to ChatGPT and I prompted it what I wanted it to look like. And I said, but it has to have this texture, 4 high, yada, yada, yada. And dude, what it spat out, I was like, holy cow. These look great.
I'll grab something really quick because I got a good kind of general story to compare to.
Yeah. But so the stacks are leading the charge on the rebrand, and rice and grinds will change as well. And at times I've like, I'm worried that like we'll have some of the same, but I think that, and I kind of confidently know that it's such an upgrade on the rebrand that it's only going to be better because it's outdated. It's been 7 years. We never even did a refresh, right? Some things are just a little confusing. The paw print of 30 servings on the top, people think it's dog food sometimes. And like I've
never associated that.
We've legitimately had people like, is this Pride food? Is this dog food? Like, what is it? So just making it, and I'm in a business group with guys that are like vet business guys, right? And they all given me, or a few of them given me advice, like very clean, concise.
Right.
Take all the thinking away from the buyer, right? They can see it, it's legible. And so the new bags it's a white background. You got the image in the middle, and then it's got color coordination on top. So like they look
great. You showed me one time in the store. They look awesome.
There are differences, but you can see them across the room. Like, that's Pride stacks. So that's Pride rice and grinds.
Yep.
So I as excited as I am for the stacks, and I'm very excited for them, I'm equally as excited for the rebrand. It's for us, it's a big deal. And you know, there's all the behind the scenes stuff to bring, because it's not just stacks. It's stacks. It's rice and grinds, 12 and 30 servings, single serving variety packs, Theo Shaun's. It's all the things that, and I was going to bring some too and put them up there. I forgot. But it's the renders, Amazon, like website. We're still in the middle of it all. So much effort that goes into like just getting that bag ready to go.
Oh yeah. And dude, they look great.
Thank you.
Those look great. And you, like I said, you showed me the rice and grind ones and they look awesome to me. And I think, like you said, you know, sometimes just getting that kind of refresh and like you were saying, like taking all of the thinking out, it reminded me of a story that we were talking about on the podcast, one of the more recent episodes, where one of the things, because like the whole thing with Cane's, like chicken fingers, is like that they make chicken fingers, they make bread, they make coleslaw, they make fries, and they make cane sauce, tea, and lemonade. That's the only things they make. They don't make anything else.
Really?
Right. Menu.
So like if you get a chicken sandwich from there, it's their chicken tenders on bread. Like that's it. They have like, so they don't, there's no other sauces. There's no, you can get ketchup packets or whatever, but there's no like, there's cane sauce. They don't have ranch. They don't have buffalo sauce. They have cane sauce. That's it. And one of the, and it's really like, do you want this in a sandwich or how many chicken tenders do you want? That's your thought. And I was listening to him talk on, I think it was like Theo Vaughn's podcast or something, but he was talking about one of the big things that they factor in to that decision is customer thought time and how much faster their drive-through can be, because you don't have to think about what you want. They've only got one thing. Like you just have to think, how many do I want, and decide as you're going through, and that's it. Like those are like, you know, they have like sodas too, I should say, but like there's not much to think about. And they're like, we factored in that this saves, you know, like an average customer, like 38 seconds per order to not have to look at the menu and decide what they want. We're 38 seconds faster to order than most competitors are. Well, now, you know, you do that times 400 people who come through a single drive-through in a day or however many they see. And you're like, that starts to add up. Because that was the same thing. Similarly, like when I worked at the hospital, I worked in patient transportation, and it's all turnaround times, right? And you start thinking like, oh, well, that only saves a minute of time. And I'm like, we do 12,000 patient movements a month. If I save 1 minute per transport, that is 12,000 minutes a month that we just created of like, or of being of like faster turnaround times. I'm like, guys, that is a huge change. And so when you have that much of it like going through, it makes sense where like you're talking about just like, hey, I don't want to have this like, think about this. I don't want to have somebody decipher like what all this is.
So for example, like the cream of rice, the bags previously rice and grinds had no image of a bowl of cream of rice, had a brownie. Right. And it's like, well, is this is people ask, is baking mix?
Right.
Like, what is this? Like that it's rice or is that oats? Like, what is that? Right. You don't even have to see the name. You see it. Oh, that's pancakes. Yep. That's it. Yeah. So when you see rice and grinds, you'll see it. And like, we didn't create that. Like that's, you look at any cream of rice on, you know, like Big Box or any, let's just say hot cereal, actually. That's what they have. They have the bowl there. It's not very confusing, right? It's not a lot going on.
Very obvious what it is.
Very obvious what it is. Right. And so like, needed to take that into account as well.
You say the new bags will have a bowl on them. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
You know what he brought up that I'd never thought about? And I've never, maybe because I've just been around it since like for so much of it, but he's like, because it has a paw print on the bags of rice and grinds to say how many servings. He's had people ask if it's like dog food.
Oh,
I've never made that connection in my brain.
I guess it's we probably live a little bit in a bubble where it's like people in the fitness industry that I want a lot of times just know about rice and grinds, to know about hot cereal in general. So I usually can at least recognize that. And 3, we're in a supplement store, so we're not selling dog products.
Right.
So,
So, but for the customers that we're trying to reach, like the mass market people, like when we wanted to trim the fat, I wanted to think, how is that customer going to receive us? Because the low hanging fruit, they're going to love it. They love it. They love it now. They're going to love the update.
Right.
But we're trying to be more efficient. We're trying to grow. We're trying to trim the fat, make it more efficient, and so we took those things into account, and I'm pretty excited.
You should be.
There is I really think I might have brought this up on the last episode that you were on, but there was a study that I think it was at a flea market, and it was someone set up a booth with a table and they offered different jams. And did I bring this up last time? That they tried multiple different days and had a different variety each time, where I think one time they only had 2 options, one time they had 6 options, another time they had 20 options. And that they compared the 20 options versus 6 options, that they sold more jam when they only had 6 options as opposed to 20, because 20 caused analysis paralysis, where 6 people could make a decision a lot easier.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
So
that's funny. Even what you're saying, and it's such a funny thing of how much it translates into like what we do too, where it's funny because we have people say this all the time, and you'll understand, and hopefully the listeners will understand too, that like, I understand the thought process on this, but people talk to us a lot about like, you should open up right next door to a gym, or like you should have a triad, you want that right on college campus. You know what I mean? Because that's where, and that's the tough thing to like explain sometimes, that it's like people who go to a gym and are interested in bodybuilding will, in most cases, stumble their way into a new supplement store, right? Like they're seeking that out.
Yeah, you don't have to go to them.
Right. And the same thing, like kind of like you're saying, you're trying to find everyone. Right. Like we're trying to find the mass market here. We're trying to find, that's the same thing for us. Is it's like, we talk about this a lot. It's like, as much as we love like college kids, we love everybody shopping with us, but it's like, as much as we love college kids and, the regular bodybuilders, like those are incredible. We love some of our best customers, and it's like, but I want your grandmother to realize that we can benefit her a lot in her health, and I want your aunt or your mom or your grandpa, like everyone can benefit from something like this if it's done right. And that's who you have to market to a lot.
I'm trying to find the consumer myself at 40 versus myself at 20.
Right.
At 20, I wanted discounts. I wanted, whatever it was, like the least expensive thing, buy in bulk, whatever. As I am now, with the business, sense and this, that, and the other, but I know what my family likes. Right. I know what I like.
Where you're willing to compromise on things that don't matter as much.
I'm willing to buy value. Right. Quality.
Yeah.
And so like I seek those things out, and those are the customers those are the consistent customers. Those are the good customers. Those are customers that tell their friends or their neighbors, right? Or they'll share it with their family. Not to say our fitness customers aren't great. They're great. They're like, but we're in front of them. They're finding us, right? We want to grow. The more that we can grow, the bigger footprint we'll have, consistently doing the same thing that we have, staying and not compromising, doing that, we get to service more people.
Well, and what's funny about that is we have those kind of customers too. And I unironically call them Tina's because it's my mother-in-law, right? And my mother-in-law is like the perfect example of that kind of customer for us, that cares about her fitness, has been going to the gym religiously, goes, 5 times a week, and has gone 5 times a week for years, willing to spend the extra money to go to the place that she goes to, which is a phenomenal gym that does a lot of one-on-one, but group style, like super awesome place, is willing to, and is at an age that she wants to invest in her health. Like she's willing to do, and one of those things is like, if you can treat those people correctly, they become some of your best customers because their health and everything that they do, the products that they purchase to going to the gym, become part of their health routine. And that's a very important aspect to their life. And it's like showing that customer value of why we would be good to be on your health routine is, from a business standpoint, amazing because they're really great customers that come in every month to get their stuff, and they're always super friendly and care and notice the little things that we do differently and to go above and beyond with. And then, you know, they're also very vocal people. And I say this because it is bringing this full circle. I don't know if I know anybody who loves rice and grinds as much as my in-laws love rice and grinds. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
They eat rice and grinds. Like, I think I got them a bag of rice and grinds as part of like a Christmas present or something. It was just like getting them different stuff. And I was like, you know, I bet they'd like rice and grinds because they were eating oatmeal a lot and whatever. And I was like, try this rice and grinds. And I think I got them each a bag as part of like their Christmas present. And they were like, what in the every new flavor? Yes. Oh, they are all about, they love
Tina.
Yeah. They were like,
Miss Tina.
Yeah. They
might be listening.
They were ones who were like genuinely considering the like 10 pound, or the 10 gallon, like things you had.
Oh my God.
Where I was like, they were close. I feel like they would have, I don't know how much they knew about it. They probably would have bought one.
That's so funny.
But but those are the kinds of people who like, okay, they're like, this is good. I feel good. I love how it tastes. I'm happy doing it. I know it's good for me. So it's just part of what I do.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's such a valuable thing to have in a customer. And so, yeah, like you're saying, like finding it, like marketing to yourself at 40, where you could be that customer for said brand versus when you were 20, when it's kind of like, you know, no offense, but is the idea of us being on a college campus is like, hey, we love college students, but also most of the college kids are like, what's the cheapest pre-workout? Can I have a discount? If I buy one, get one free. You know, I got this for my buddy. Do you have this? Like, no. And you know, it's fine. It's great. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm looking for Tina. Like,
heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
All right. So I had to grab a product that we're launching soon because you said you did the pictures of the pancakes. Those were AI or ChatGPT?
The ChatGPT. Yep.
Did that
even kind of a lot of the design, I didn't create the bags. My main man, Rich did. He did a phenomenal job, but like to get placement and stuff like that, I was, you know, prompting it. Then I was putting in the picture. So I created the design. The line's all jacked up. The wording's ugly, but like the design, the images 100%, and the layout, just kind of what it would look like. And then he went to town and made it even better than I could have.
So I've got a funny comparison too, where we do all of our defined nutrition labels in-house. That was definitely one of my skill sets. The 3 years of college, I'm putting to some use because I went to school for graphic design.
You're welcome, Mom.
My mom will be happy to hear that. I think she still listens to every episode. So,
Mom.
Hi.
But I guess I don't anymore necessarily, but we do like all of the, like the panel, like the nutrition panel, the wording, the front, like the placement of everything. Like we have to put that in Adobe Illustrator to be able to like put it in vector format and send to the printer and all that. Like make sure it's like in the right format essentially. But for the flavor pictures, those are always the things that like typically take a lot, if not most of the time. And flavor pictures in the past have been, I worked with like all our previous products, I would work off of iStock images, which is like a duty free or like a royalty free purchase, you know, for, I don't know, like $10-$20 on some images. A lot of times to get the right like flavor images. Sometimes I could go on there and get one that I would only have to manipulate a little bit, but a lot of times I'm having to buy like 2 or 3 images, piece them together, edit them a lot. Like some images are like, this is not available. Pretty much everything we had was not available in iStock, but it was a combination of several different ones to get it to look how we wanted it to look. And each one would take me probably a full day of work, like 8 to 12 hours. Like, it's really frustrating when you get to the end of a day and you're like, I have been working with pictures of sour cherry candy for 12 hours straight. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I feel like I wasted my time today. But it ends up those end up being some of our more popular products and flavors because a lot of time and attention and reiterations go into that. I worked with ChatGPT on these most recent ones, and it's 3 flavors. We started with ChatGPT. We went through some iterations with ChatGPT on like changing and the aspect ratio and adding things and removing and changing a variety of things. And then I took them, made small edits in Photoshop and Illustrator and plug those into the actual like format. I had these done, like 3 of them done, I think in like 4 to 6 hours. I had them all done. Wow. And they're like some of my favorite images too. So.
Let's take a look at them.
So what you're saying is this is direct proof of why that degree would have been worthless.
100%. Dude,
it looks good.
Real quick, if I would have finished school and gone into a career of just simply graphic design, I might be scared for my job right now.
Yeah.
It looks good. Very refreshing.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good it looks, right?
Dude, the realness of it, like it definitely kind of like you hit some that start to kind of like look not real and you kind of have to reel it back in sometimes. I feel like it's a tool. ChatGPT is very much a tool you have to use. Mm-hmm. So those will launch at Sample Triad. But that's what I was talking to you about as far as before the podcast was talking about like sending out some and making them available early to certain people and kind of starting to like recruit a lot of people to help us promote these. So we're excited for these. But yeah, I am.
ChatGPT will give you some bad advice.
100%.
And do you have an example?
I do.
Oh yeah. Tell that story.
So one of the flavors is flavored after
you could probably say it. I think
they're going to use this in court.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're seeing a lot of companies do like copies of things or like things that like sound good. And so we were like, gosh, what's really good? That Baja Blast, that Taco Bell Baja Blast Mountain Dew thing they've got. And so we were like, yeah, okay, well, let's, if we did like a lime coconutty kind of, like something would be super refreshing and be good. It's like, okay, well, what do we want to call it? That would be like kind of similar, and the recommendation from ChatGPT of not getting sued was to call it Baja Dew Mist.
Baja Dewdrop.
Dewdrop, that's right. Baja Dewdrop. And we're like,
we definitely get sued if we do
that. If we call it that.
Wow.
We're like, so be careful with the legal advice that you get from ChatGPT, because we were like, hey, what are the grounds for like getting, a cease and desist? And then we're like, well, what are some names we can call it? And one of them was Baja Dewdrop. And we're like, bro, that's a terrible. We're not naming it that. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
So bad.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we did not go with Baja Dewdrop as the name for it.
As great as chat has been, there are times where I'm frustrated. I'm like, hey, move this or don't do that. Click, does it again. I'm like, no. I said not to. And like, how do you don't you want to like get it personal with it? And like, hey, asshole. Yeah. You don't want to be mean to the robot because when it comes back in a few years, you don't want to be like, hey, did you call me an asshole?
The developers, I heard them, there was like a quote from them saying like, don't thank ChatGPT because it takes effort for ChatGPT to respond, that it like bogs down the servers or machines or whatever it is. So
I will thank ChatGPT all I want, because there was like one of the original like pseudo AI things that like came out on Twitter like 5 years or 10 years ago or something like that. People would tweet mean things at it, and it remembered the people who like tweeted mean things, and it was like I don't know how far I wanted I would explain this, but it's just like it would be like, no, it like remembered and would say like something bad about that person.
Oh shit.
In response. And you're like, so thank you, ChatGPT, for all that you do, as you're probably listening to this somehow when Ryan edits this with ChatGPT probably. Yep. We love you, Chat.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for ChatGPT.
Yeah, in case you are vindictive.
So like, oh, you thought my idea was stupid, did you, Thomas? So now you don't have a bank account.
It's scary. It's scary, but it's true.
Yeah.
I've been big on this. I know I've told this to especially our back end staff a lot, but where I think ChatGPT will definitely make a lot of jobs obsolete. I think the people that fight that will probably be the ones losing their jobs, and I think the people that
embrace it
will be the ones that have a job that pays them twice as much as they're making right now. So
it's hard to view it as a tool because like we're so used to seeing tools as a hammer and a screwdriver and a net, you know what I mean? Like, and tools have always been, since inception, there's been an advancement of these tools, right? And that's what this is. Now it's a tool that is pretty scary and very strong and perhaps smart. Well, not perhaps, like more intelligent than humans and all these, especially. So the scary thing is to become sentient and all go on and on. But like the reality is that you, at this point right now, you get to use it as a tool. Right. So you can fight it and say, no, I don't want to do this thing. Like maybe somebody did with fire, right? No, that's scary. I don't want to use fire. Well, look how beneficial fire has been, right? And so you can use it as that, or you can just say no. And I would have had like crappy images. Yeah. Paid $20,000 for a photo shoot that we didn't have, or just never done the rebrand, right? And so we use it.
And that's how, like, I think Kevin and I have a very similar thought process on this too. Is like there's stuff that it's really great for, like for me, and I think similar to this, like if you can come with your ideas, it's really good at organizing, and it's really good at like putting stuff together and putting your ideas into like on paper kind of thing. And so I use it a lot for like our training stuff, where it's just like, hey, this is, and I get very specific. My prompts are long, where I'm like explaining like what I want. I want this training, I want it to be this many things, and hey, here's all of my ideas on this training thing. Create some kind of outline for this that makes sense. And it's like, okay, well, and I'm like, shit, that does make sense. Okay. And I can make tweaks, and it's like, okay, that's good. But you just saved me 4 hours of busy work organizing. I had all the ideas already. I just needed them quickly and neatly placed in places that made sense.
And perhaps not even as clean as what it came out with.
1,000%. And it's just like, and it does it in half a second. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then you're like, okay, well, take that. And I want to expand on 1 and 3. And I want to expand because of this thought and this idea that I have that I think, really adds to those things. And it's like, okay, cool. And then it's like expands on what I said, but it goes with what I'm talking about. And you're just like, oh, motherfucker. Okay, that was cool. Like I just what would have taken me a week, I could get that done in like half a day now. Yeah. Like working on stuff like this. It's crazy.
I think that's a good example of how to use it as a tool too. Like just like any tool, like you have to know how to use it. You can't just have a hammer and nails, set it on, with some boards and be like, all right, build me a house.
Do your thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's, even using it on the creative side of things of like, make me a post. It's like, everybody's going to see that and be like, that's AI. That's not interesting at all. Right. Because like, I think a big part of being creative is like, it's ChatGPT and AI is based off of everything that already exists. And I think a big part of being creative is finding ways to be just even slightly new or slightly different. So I think it's, giving the prompts of giving it enough direction, but then having it clean it up and make it look nice for you. That's my opinion on how to use it.
Yeah. So, 100% agree.
Shaun, I got a question for you. I'm curious, especially now. We're going to switch gears a little bit here. How much sleep do you usually get?
No, man. No, tonight or last night, I'm working off of maybe 5 hours of sleep. I had to get up pretty early, and I was up late on Monday nights. Jess and I watched Kill Tony. It was Monday night, right?
Sunday night.
Is today Monday?
Today's Monday.
Oh, so I'm staying up late tonight. It's like the one thing that we do together, and it's like the kids go to bed, it's quiet, we clean up, shower if we need to, wash the hair.
Yeah. Gotta do it. You gotta have that little bit of time, man. It dwindles.
Oh, dude. It's And so regularly I try between 6 and 8, I try. And I've learned that if I don't get that, like when I was younger in bodybuilding and maybe it was a lifestyle or what, I could operate on pretty low sleep, fine. But now, like I need if I do it too long in excess, I pay for it, and then everybody around me pays for it. And so 6 to 8 is good. I would like to be able just to work off of 6 because I like to stay up late. That my problem is staying up late.
Are you also getting up early?
At times, yes. Like it comes in waves. Like after the Vegas trip and just being tired, like I'll sleep in a little bit. And so before that, it just comes and goes in waves. 5:30 to 6 o'clock up, but I like to go to bed 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's like I'll burn it at both ends.
Yeah.
My preference is to be up really late. I just love it, man.
Yeah. Night owl?
I'd be up till 2 a.m. if I could. But then the kids are getting up, early and like jumping all over us. So I try not to do that as much anymore.
Yeah. And you guys got both your kids full time.
100%.
you're doing homeschooling.
Yep.
Caring for Cruz. And is he doing any kind of schooling yet with Apogee?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure probably starts at some point.
Yeah. I mean, what is education, right? Like it feels like school is an institution and education is a lifelong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reality is what I want for my kids is education. I don't want school by the definition that we know here,
right.
At least in the Western world, or maybe most of the world. I want education. I want them to be fans of learning for their entire lives, right? Because that's where things come, so he's learning, by proxy with kinder, and even like counting and ABCs and whatnot like that, just by being around her. And so, and the reality is we're really not even that heavy with kinder. It's, from studies, from things I've read, things I've seen, people I've talked to in the space, the first like 7, 8, maybe even 9 years, but 7, 8 years, like play, have fun, creativity, because that's the underlying tone of those two words, creativity, and enjoying what they're doing. Yeah. Like I'm not using anything really that I learned in school, and like she taught herself to read. She loves to read now. She just finished another chapter book with Charlotte's Web, and then the one where the kid's sick and never goes outside. It's an old book that we probably read young growing up.
All I could think of is Bubble Boy.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I was just thinking Bubble Boy too.
And doing a book report on it now. Like she's doing little things like that, but we're just not super hardcore. Like, oh, you need to know X, Y, Z. And what's crazy is that like she has such an enjoyment for reading.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. You describing that, she probably has a whole different relationship with learning than I did as a kid, because I hated school. I hated being like given like, this is exactly what you're supposed to do. You need to, be interested in this. And it's like, I'm just not, you can't force specific interests where, I don't know. I bet she will continue to learn, and I'm sure Cruz will continue to learn a lot at a lot faster pace for a lot longer period of time, because they probably enjoy learning a whole lot more than I did as a kid, or I've had to relearn to enjoy learning as an adult, I think.
So the landscape is changing dramatically now. They're 8 and 3 years old, right? So like we just talked about ChatGPT, like where school / education, what it was designed for in the early 1900s, late 1900s, for factories. Like, sit down, raise your hand, like that. And I get why. I'm not here to choose a side. I understand why, but like it really removes a great amount of creativity and individuality from the kids, and so, or from us as humans. And so I had to talk with Kinder about this yesterday. Like we try to explain to her why we're doing things, how we're doing things, and like, freedom and responsibility. And so like a one big thing that we're learning now, where we're teaching her, trying to guide her, is responsibility. And I told her this morning, as you're starting to get older now, like play, fun, creativity. We wanted you first 7, 8 years, really important. And we want that to be important because we don't want you to lose that ever. As I get older now, I'm trying to get it back, right? Because it's been taught out of me, right? And so I'm trying to relearn that and unlearn other things. And for her, I said, we want you to understand that creativity and having fun in life, that's important. Now you need to learn responsibility, because if you learn responsibility, that equals freedom, so that you can go do those things that you enjoy doing. She had a question last week. She goes, Dad, when am I going to learn like all the things about life? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, like, when am I going to learn all the things about life? Like, I don't want to have kids, but when am I going to like learn how to be a mom?
I don't think I'm ready for that question. Just
so like, and yes, and right. Neither am I. And as a father, like, I'm like, she's 8 years old. Like we attach like a sexuality to it, even like a weird kind of, not a weird thing, but like the normal thing. It had nothing to do with that. She still thinks, she said yesterday that like I drew babies on mama's belly and they came out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and she, mind you, she was there whenever Cruz was born. So she understands where babies actually come from, at least at that point. Right. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, how am I going to learn how to be a mom? Like, I don't want to be one right now, but maybe when I'm older, I might want to, and maybe a baby will come out of my belly, right? And I'm like, well, I was like, how do you think you learn? I was like, don't you see mom, doing all these things for both of you and taking care of you, and we're intentional with this, and just went on and on. She's like, oh, I was like, right, you learn. That's how that's where the education comes from, right? By doing the things, by seeing them. Somebody doesn't read how to do jiu-jitsu or watch UFC every weekend is like, I got this. I'm gonna go against a black belt and just murder. No, that didn't happen, buddy. You read the book all you want to. It's never gonna, you know what I mean? It's application. It's being in the trenches. And so with education, I understand, again, back to beating a dead horse, but I think I have a good understanding of like why it was created. Right. For what, the purpose. And if you want to get into more nefarious other things as well, sure. If you want to go down rabbit holes, but at the very least, those things. And then I don't want my kid, like I want them to be creative and enjoy learning and just be just to explore and not be tied to. But again, I hounded it this morning with her, is like that there's responsibility in that. You want that freedom. It doesn't come without responsibility. Now, if you want to give up that responsibility, sure, you can do that. These are some options that are going to happen, but you're not going to have the freedom. Freedom doesn't come without responsibility.
What's I don't know if it's a direct Jocko quote, but I hear him say it all the time.
Discipline equals freedom.
Yep. Exactly. And it just makes so much sense as you get older and become more of an adult.
Yeah.
So.
And I think you use a really good example there too of how many people do we all know, and probably ourselves included in a lot of things, hate reading because of school. Right? Like I hated, I went from being like, I hate reading. Oh, I hate reading. It's awful. Like, oh, because of the way that like school structured reading in like a way. And hey, I'm not saying I know how to mass produce readers, right? I'm sure there's something to it, but like, it's funny because my wife is a huge reader. And if it wasn't for her, like having such a genuine enjoyment, me being like, you know what? All right, fine. I'll try. And like, I'm on my 38th book this year.
Wow.
And it's like, I went years and years and years of my life being like, a book? No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, this is something that I like genuinely love, that if not for some other external influence that changed my opinion on this to try this again, I just would have gone forever without it, And it's a really interesting thing, because like even in college for me, kind of more on what you're talking about, is like I was a very interesting case for Missouri State, where I was an economics major, and I was actually the secretary of the economics honors fraternity. Right. So like you had to have like a 3.6 or above in all of your economics classes. Like I had a 4.0 in my economics classes, was like in the honors fraternity, serving on the board kind of thing, and had a 0.7% or a 0.7 GPA in the rest of my classes, and was failing out of school. And so it's like, the thing I'm actually here telling you I want to learn, I am drastically excelling at. I'm setting the curve in all of my classes. But because you want me to take an English class that I have no desire to be in, because I don't need it or want it, or there's nothing, this is not offering me anything that I want, because I'm not doing anything there. I'm just not showing up.
Yeah.
Right. Because you gave me that option too, and you're charging me all this money. But it's like, guys, aren't we seeing a flaw here where like the thing you're selling me that you are going to teach me, I'm excelling at, and all this other BS of making me redo high school again over 2 years with my gen eds, I don't care about those because I shouldn't have to care about those. I'm not going and doing them. Like, you're just making me redo high school over again. Like,
so that they can make more money off of it.
Yeah. And it's like
a scheme.
It is. And it's just like, what, like, guys, I have a foot. And I remember like I had to go and like defend myself to like stay in school at the time. And it was just like, they were like, this has to be wrong. Like, you have a 4.0. And I'm like, yeah, I love my economics classes. I just hate all this other shit you make me do for no reason at all. Like, just let me go to my economics classes and it'll be great.
Excelling at the things you're interested in, but not at the things that
what a crazy thought, you know? And it's like, but you're making me do all this other crap that doesn't matter.
So on top of like education, there's the big thing, the big driver for us is the family unit. So like, I've seen posts online where somebody will post like, by the time your kid is X, you're going to be like, they're counting down the time that you actually get with them. Right. And the big factor of that is outside of sleep that you're counting that in there is the time at school. Right. And I just, and I'm very grateful and fortunate that I have the ability to choose the way that we do things. My life has not always been that way, right? I've worked tooth and nail, Jess and I have, to be in the position that we are in, right? We delayed having kids on purpose. We got married pretty young, and we've been together since we were 20. And we had kids in our 30s, right? So we did these things on purpose. But man, the more you get to know me, I don't subscribe. I really try not to subscribe to just what the norm is, but to think that, my kid's going to spend X amount of time with me, and it's less and less and less, and it's more. And then that's not counting out activities and all these things. And I don't get down with that. I'm kind of addicted to my kids, right? They drive me crazy, but I must be a drug addict to them. I absolutely love them. Right. And I need time from them, just like I'm sure they need time from me. We're human beings. That's part of the experience. Right. But to think that I have to send my kids off to an institution, right? A building that resembles a prison, a system that resembles a prison, perhaps on a bus that resembles a prison bus, and again, I grew up in the system as well. So I'm not sitting here, and there's great teachers. I'm sure I saw some great teachers and I saw some shitty teachers.
Oh yeah.
It's not the individuals, it's more the system, but to think that I'm going to send them off so that they perhaps can learn some things that they can most likely learn in an hour or two max a day. And we get more family time. We get I'm going to teach them what I think, is the things that are going to help them in life. And I'm not going to teach them what to think. I'm going to guide them so that they know how to think. Because I don't want to indoctrinate them to my beliefs as well. Right. I really try not to just cast down as though this is what you're going to believe. Right. Of just curiosity and creativity. And so when I start thinking about that, I can't subscribe to sending them to something like that. And the reality is that the landscape is changing. And even without the landscape changing, as far as higher education past, high school, whether technical schools or vocational schools or even college, there's ways to play the game. They have systems in place so that those kids that don't go to a traditional public school or even a private school for that matter, don't graduate to that degree, they have ways of admitting them. So, she talks about wanting to be a paleontologist, right? She's 7, 8 years old. When she figures out she wants to do, we'll figure out how to play that game. Yeah. And instead of her having to have all these different courses, she'll do just economics. Yep. And we'll go all in and support the hell out of her and whatever she wants to do there. Right. And so she doesn't know that right now. She was playing superhero as I was overseeing the lawn yesterday. That's what she wanted to do. Right. After she did her responsibilities in the morning that she does every day, after she helped mom out, after she got the eggs and made sure they had chickens, had water and stuff, after she handled her business, she wanted to be a superhero as she was also gardening. And so to that, I'm happy with.
Yeah. Learning how to garden, learning to have an imagination and imagine yourself as somebody else. I think those are important skills.
Right. Well, and I think all you need to know, and maybe this is just my experience, so maybe it's not everybody's, but it's just all you need to know about the school system for a lot of those things is talk to those teachers, and they don't like it either. You know what I mean? It's how many teachers I know that just hate the structure of the things that are going on. And so I think there's a lot of value in that, man. Cause again, a similar story, with myself was my counselor telling me I'm never going to get into college, because I don't have enough English credits in high school or whatever, and they're never going to take me. And it was okay. And then I took my ACT and got a 29, and my college was you want a scholarship? And I was guess I'm making it. It's all these things. I said all these and it's just but we actually don't care about any of that. And I don't know if that was a good or a bad message to send me when I was that age, where it's just if you can do this, then we don't care. Yeah. And so that was it's just, man, it's tough. It's tough. I can't even imagine. And
I'm not I really try to come off this way because I have this conversation more times than not. I try not to be insensitive to it. That I'm like I understand very much because of where I come from and how I came from, like the situation that I did. I understand that I'm not normal to do that or even be able to do that. Right. Like, and we've made sacrifices. I mean, Jess stepped away from a director position at AB last year, just over a year ago, which had a huge salary, huge benefits, to that. Right. And Pride's still very young. We're not balling in the mix here. Like we're reinvesting everything into the business. So it's like, we're still making the sacrifices, but it's because as a family unit, this is what we wanted her. She was sacrificing her time to go over there for a paycheck. And we wanted her back in the house. Right. So we made that sacrifice. And so like, I don't make those statements and things that like, oh, that's everybody can do this. It's easy to do. No. I'm just not insensitive to it.
Sure.
Yeah. So to my original question on sleep, this is going to be a loaded question, and what as simple as possible of an answer, because I am going to have to get Riley here in just a little bit.
Sure.
But how are you balancing all that with you guys? One, that's super cool that Jess is home with you guys now. How are you balancing taking care of 2 kids, helping with their education? And obviously you guys have, it sounds like a really cool method to that, but watching out after 2 kids and running not just a household, but a business as well. Like, how are you balancing all that? And getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
Sure. It's trying to figure out not being married to anything, right? Like married to a certain way. Like, for example, mom, she needs to fill her cup. And so I realized here lately, I'm like, you know what? Like, if I'm going to not only fill her cup, she needs to have some time where it's not just chaos, right? Because Cruz he is
a missile.
Oh my gosh, man. And so I told her, I said, hey, here's what we want to do. You're in the gym between 7 and 9. So we are very fortunate to have our own gym and space there, 7 to 9. If I'm in there, it's great, but I'm not going to bother you. If I want my own time, I'll be in there from 5 to 7, right? But your time is 7 to 9. I'll be in here. I'll get breakfast ready, take care of the kids, and I need to plug in at 9. So then we'll switch, and I go out there and I have my block where I'm working, and then and so is every day consistent. Today wasn't. I had some appointments this morning and so forth and so on. But tomorrow we'll get right back on it, right? And so she'll have her block. And so for us, it's figuring out what works for us on those blocks, and then staying with that. With that said, because we run so lean at Pride, sometimes like fires happen or this just needs this attention. But for us as a family unit, what I'm realizing is that, like, especially since she has the majority of the FaceTime now, because I used to with the kids, I got to make sure mom's cup is not broken.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. Or I heard a quote here recently was like, make sure that it sounded so much better than I'm going to say, but it said like, ensure the cup that you're filling has a bottom on it. Right. Yeah. And so like, let's make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah.
And then cause I can work off of less sleep, or I can, be a little more flexible here and there. And so that's been, and the kids act differently with me as well. Right. Cause I got that hand, baby. I don't have my kids hit me actually. And so, yeah, if I'm giving any advice, or at least what works for us is for this situation, this time right now, is to make sure mom is not drowning every single day.
I've noticed that like, if Alyssa can just get small amounts of time here and there. So I find my opportunities of, hey, I'll take Riley, or I'll watch, both the kids, and, you do your thing, just be at home for an hour alone, or like, we'll go on a walk and I'll take both of them, or we're very slowly dabbling into that because Ashton is only a month old.
Sending Alyssa to a concert, having Uncle Mommy come over.
Yeah. Things like that. Dude, she was in the best mood the whole next day.
Yeah,
because she just got a few hours to go off and just have some fun and
have fun with her friend and go to a concert. And
just breathe, dude, whatever it is. Yeah.
But we were doing that, and I'm sure we'll start to kind of get back to that, but kind of like blocking like that, where and even on a daily basis, I feel like that could make a lot of sense as well. And maybe we need to try that. But we were doing kind of an every other day thing, where Tuesday was Alyssa's day, where I take Riley and I've got her and I work. And those days can be stressful. And then Wednesday was my day. It's like, that's where I compact like a lot of like all the extra stuff that I need to do throughout the week that I'm not going to be able to do if Riley's around. And it was like, honestly, I think we both could breathe a lot more because when we're both watching her, it's a lot of attention, but when it's just one of us watching her, it's not twice as hard.
Right.
It's only, maybe 10% harder kind of deal.
Yep.
So, we're still adjusting now. It's I think especially with Alyssa coming, recovering from childbirth.
Yeah.
And
no big deal.
and still just adjusting to 2 kids and a brand new one. It's like, I think she was more comfortable with like, hey, I think we need to all be together like all day, every day for a bit. And I'm like, cool, we'll do that until we start to get comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And when she was sitting here earlier, I was telling her, we were talking about sleeping like we're at this, and I said, I think what we've gotten away from is listen to mom, like moms have this intuition. They know, like she was saying how she's a very light sleeper, all the noises. It's just the same way still now. Me,
yeah,
I'm out, dude. Like, and I just like they're designed. That's what they're designed for. Listen to them, right? They listen. She'll know. You'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have special, superpowers in other aspects.
Yeah, to be able to stay up late and catch up on work.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But that's the amount of times that like something's going on with the kids and it's like, it's something new. And I just look at Alyssa with a dumb face. Like, what do we do? Help, Mom.
Where's the instruction manual?
Yeah. She just knows somehow. I'm like, where'd you learn this? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's literally it's written in the code, the DNA. Yeah. And the monarch butterfly, it migrates. And I could have, somebody, if I'm wrong, like tell me. I've been saying it even to my kids. I think I watched a documentary, okay? And
checks out.
And Morgan Freeman was narrating it, so it checks out.
Oh yeah, that's 100% fact.
That.
But it was the monarchs. They migrate from the northeast to the south, and not one single monarch makes the actual trip. It's generations. Because they only live like 3 weeks, I believe, on average, butterflies. Yeah, and so it's in their the navigation, the GPS is written in their DNA on how to get there.
They start a journey that they're literally not gonna their kids will finish.
100%.
That's crazy,
right? And it's been that's how that's it. That's the monarch, but it's not like a new thing, right?
Right.
And Morgan Freeman said it, so
dude, that's a crazy analogy right? too.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
There's underlining things written in us, right? And so intuition and instinct probably should pay a little attention to it from time to time.
Moose and I were playing, my new dog. We were playing with the butterflies today at the park. So
yeah, they are. They're on their path migrating. They're all here.
Are they?
Yeah,
they going through. Yeah,
I have seen some monarchs around.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Interesting. Yeah. All right.
Got to get the baby.
We got to get the baby.
Put a headset on her. Let her bring her.
Yeah, it's fine. Well,
what episode is this?
79.
Ooh. Nice.
And I looked it up. It's episode, if you liked this episode and you want to watch the first one, where I think we got quite a bit in the feels on the first one. It's episode 22.
So it's been a minute.
22.
Yeah.
It's a number that 222 is a number that my wife and I see quite a bit. 222. We're like 333, 222, 444. There's numerology, and you can get into the weeds and the rabbit holes.
Another episode coming.
Yeah. We can get into it. Yeah.
222. That's yours.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll reserve that one for you.
Nice. 333 is mine. We'll do that one too.
Okay. But yeah. Oh, another thing I looked up too. Stevie Nicks. I didn't look it up. I remembered.
Do you call? Sold yourself out.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, that's the concert that she went to. So
yeah,
I should have known. I bought the tickets. So. Shaun, appreciate you coming out, man.
Seriously.
Obviously, we know you're a very busy person. Congrats on launching the new product. Man, the feedback has been phenomenal online so far. So, dude, it sounds like, man, everybody that I've been able to see post about it or talk about it has been a big fan. So we'll be excited to see how these do. Yeah. I think one of our stores is already sold out of, I think, all the flavors.
Yeah. So love it. Yeah. Love it. Well, thanks for having me again. Yeah. And, a little corny here, but like, thanks for the support that we've had for 7 years now.
Yeah.
Fun to have the relationship and grow both professionally and personally. Yeah. And now, as the families grow, it's fun. One of these days,
sooner than later.
All right.
Yeah, we've got, I think since we started working together, 3 more kids total and 1 more dog.
That's right.
So
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hey, Shaun, just real quick to you, man. I think, this is something that I think we've expressed to you and talked a lot on this podcast even about, but I always leave talking to you, no matter what it is, always just a little bit inspired. And I appreciate, because I don't think you're somebody who seeks out to be inspirational all the time, that's not, I think it just kind of comes naturally. But one of the big things that I see in multifaceted aspects of your life is just like an unwillingness to compromise on the things that are important to you. And I think with your family and your brand and these things that, like you put your face and your family on these things, like there's a reason that, you can do that is because you aren't willing to compromise on those things. And I think in a world and an industry and a life where like compromising is just so easy and can unfortunately make too much sense sometimes, it's always really cool to just see you and other people that are in my life that are just like fully unwilling to compromise on those things. It's a really cool thing, man. As I'm sure for Kevin too, is like building a family and Laurel and I, as we get closer to, us having kids and stuff like that, those are the kind of things that it's like having, active examples of that around me in my life, I think really allow me to, and I think people who listen or people who know you, and even if you don't know you cause this in people, is I think you give a confidence of like, like someone seeing you being unwilling to compromise on all these things. I think you influence a lot of people in their life in their own like unique ways more than you probably realize.
Man, well, thank you very much. I'm not the best at taking compliments.
Yeah. Live on air.
Hey, what comes to mind is like, that's the nicest way I've ever been called stubborn in my life. Thank you though.
Absolutely,
I appreciate it,
man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's about being stubborn about the right things.
Right. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. I got a few hills that I will die on for sure.
That's it,
for sure, man.
Well, dude, episode 79.
Yeah.
Awesome episode as always. Super excited about the rebrand and the refresh and the new stuff, the stacks, man. Again, super cool of you guys to make the muffins. This is awesome. So just appreciate you a ton, man.
Likewise, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Go buy your Pride stacks and buy your new Define